Hey folks, Sir Charles Carey here. I'm live. I'm just messing around. I don't know what I thought I was doing, but welcome to another episode of What's Your Come Up Story. And today the theme is based around music. I'm waiting for my guest. This gentleman is world renowned. He's been involved in the music industry for a very, very long time. He's been a soloist. He's been with the group. And I think he's even dabbled with acting and modeling. But we're going to talk to him a short spell. But as always, I encourage you to take notes, to ask questions, whatever it may be. If you're live, post live. If you're in the replay, hashtag replay and make your comment or your question. And I'm waiting for him now to hit the link so that he can join me and we can begin this conversation because there's so much history. He's done so much, and he's been around for a very long time. And for those who know already, it's great. I'm talking about Russell Patterson. He says, I'm working on it. He's trying to get connected. Just hit the link, and you should be A-OK. So, again, Russell Patterson is from the group The Black Ivory. And if you remember The Black Ivory, they did songs like Don't Turn Around and You and I back in the days when the Jackson 5 were really big and all those 70s doo-wop groups and crooners were big on the scene like Blue Magic and the Dells, the Delphonics, and they were a part of that storied history. They came out doing their very own thing in Harlem, and Russell is one of the founding members of that group. So hopefully as soon as he can figure this out, just to click the link, we can bring him in and you can see him and speak with him directly for yourself. So in the meanwhile, I am going to, let's see where I'm going to go. I'm going to go right here to this single mode so I can speak to you without the distractions on the screen and see where he's at. So, but I could tell you a lot about him because I do know him we're from the same neighborhood, the same community in New York City, in Manhattan, in Harlem. And I do know that he has been on the road. I do know that he not only has been on the road, but, he travels with the group. He does his own thing. And like most of us, he's still in flow. He's trying to do what he does because this is what he loves, the creative part of his life, the creative makeup that has made him who he is. So as soon as, again, he can just simply click that link, we can be up and running, and you can hear for yourself some of the stories he may have to tell you. I don't know how it's going to be, but we're going to see. He's typing now. So let's see. Do you remember those days? In fact, whoever's watching, if you remember the Black Ivory, please just let me know. Make a comment. The songs were Don't Turn Around, You and I, and there was a string of others. And then there was a point when the group, Leroy, who was, I think Leroy was a lead singer. They all did leads, but Leroy was a very, energetic, dynamic, upfront man, but he left the group for a while, although he wrote still with them and they were still good friends. He left and they did a song in the late 70s, like almost the 80s, called Mainline. So if you remember the Black Ivory, just let me know. Make a comment. I like the thumbs up. Thank you for that thumbs up. Thank you for that heart. But let me know if you really remember the group. And I'm curious who remembers them and who doesn't. See, what was that? Was that him? Not yet. I do know that he's in the airport. I've done a few times. Yeah, I think he's getting some assistance. He is in the airport. He is on his way coming south, coming back up north right now. So this should be really interesting. I really would love to get his perspective and have this conversation with them. so you guys can experience it as well. Now, honestly, who remembers the group? Do you really remember? What was your favorite song? What I don't know if you're a woman. What member did you like? Was it Leroy? Was it Stewart? Was it Russell? Who did you remember or cater to? Whose style appealed to you best? Do you remember that? After all, it was a very long time ago. And the reason why I'm excited is because we don't always have friends that are still around. You know, for those of us that are from the same community, of the same era, many of us are here without our friends. Our friends have left without us. You know, God bless those who have had a full or enjoyable life, but some of us are still around. And it's really nice when you see someone that you've known for a long time. Okay, let's see who that is. It's nice when you see someone that you've known for a long time, and it's here he comes, I believe, and they're still around. So let's see. Bam, there he is.
Hey,
What's going on, man?
hey, Charles, what's up?
Man, it's all good. I'm up here telling lies on you.
That's okay. I do it all the time. What you told him, I'll confirm for you.
Oh man. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russell
What
Patterson.
what's
Yeah,
going on
I know,
now?
right?
I love it.
Yeah, look, man, I'm trying to say. I was gonna say that I was trying to make a joke, but I was like the gray wouldn't let me get away with it. I was gonna say that I'm older than you, and someone would probably say, "Yeah, you look like."
Now you lying.
See, I know, right? Look, man, I'm glad to finally get a chance to catch up with you. I know you've done a lot. I know you're doing a lot. I wanted to ask you a few questions before we jump into the music per se. But
Okay.
growing up in Harlem, what was life like from how you best remember it?
Well, I was like a quiet, shy guy, so and I wasn't into sports. I was more into the music and trying to do that kind of thing. So I really didn't get to go out a lot, learn how to play basketball and all that good stuff. So growing
Okay,
up in Harlem, I was very much a loner.
okay,
I had the big bifocal glasses, the big
really?
stomach. So, oh yeah, I was Coke bottles.
I remember seeing them, man. Look, what school did you attend?
I had attended Brandeis High School.
Oh, you went to Brandeis. Okay, I went to Central
Yeah.
Commercial, which
Oh,
later
you know
turned
what?
to
I
North.
went there too, though.
Really?
Yeah, I went there in ninth grade, and then we went to Brandeis after that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they
My
changed
mom was
the.
there too.
Stop playing.
My mom graduated from there.
Wow, strange
Yeah.
turn of events. But I remember, the community we come from. I think we were only a couple of blocks away because you and I have a good friend in common in Carlton. And
Right.
I remember Carlton used to hang out with you guys a lot. And he would tell me all kinds of stories, which I can't tell right here, but I just remember it had me intrigued.
Oh yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, man. So, and because of Carlton, it really piqued my interest even more. I come from a musical family, but hearing him talk about, the solid relationship he had with you and Stewart and Leroy
Right.
made me more
Hmm.
interested in really getting involved in stepping out of my shy zone because I was a shy kid too. I
Oh,
played
okay.
basketball, but, music was really where my heart was at.
Right. Right. Yeah, and you sang good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I remember my first experiences were with the choir outside of school, and then I did a
Okay.
little dabbling in high school for my graduation. But I was really starting to feel myself, and I started feeling more confident in, finding carve a path. But for you,
Okay.
young man, you
Yes,
are
sir.
part of a very historic and I would say iconic group called the Black Ivory. And
Yes.
you guys did a lot of things. I mean, that Don't Turn Around album still hits, man. I think it's just a good project.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we were definitely blessed in being associated with our producer manager at the time, Patrick Adams,
I was going to ask
because
you about
he's the
Patrick.
one. Yeah, he's the one who, we were in IS 201 on 148th Street and 7th Avenue writing the songs for that album. And he started shopping it around and, somebody liked it and they gave us a deal.
Wow, that's
And
great.
I think we were 16 years old too. So,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I think that album, and there was a follow up album. What was the follow up album to Don't Turn Around?
Baby, won't you change your mind?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys had a good run. Now let me ask you this because I don't know why I keep thinking about this. Did you guys ever do a show? Now I know there's been a lot of shows you've done over the years, and I know this is a
Right.
long time. But were you ever on the show with New Birth and a bunch of other acts in DC?
Yeah. Oh, well, we did a tour with them. We did Apollo Theater with them, and then we went to DC after that. Yes.
I saw y'all in DC. Yes, that's what it was. I remember
What
that
were you
because
doing down there?
I got family down there, so and that's where I'm at now.
Oh, really? That's where you live now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Outside of the
That's
city,
cool.
but still, I remember my brother took me to the concert, and I mean, we was like right up at the front of the stage, so we got to see everybody, and it was like seemed like hours, but it was like maybe 4 or 5 acts. I don't remember everyone on the bill, but it was just a great
Yeah.
experience for me, to see it in
Yeah,
real
that was a
time.
great show. But I love New Birth.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot. Man, I mean, they had so many hits. To me, they were like the answer to, or the sort of counter group to Parliament. They had that same feel, that funk, and that
Right. They had
rich, that
funk.
rich.
But
Hmm.
but the difference is that they had voices. Like that girl in the group, woo,
Yes.
and the guy in the group. The two of them, the combo was really, and the songs they had. Funkadelic was more
Yeah.
about,
The groove.
improvisation and stuff like
Right.
that musically, whereas New Birth was all about the singing and
Yeah, because that Dream Merchant, whew, that was the
yeah, I
thing.
know.
That was the
Yes.
thing, man. So
Yep.
now I know that you guys have been around so long and have done so much. There was a time that I know Leroy was doing some other things, and then you guys did Mainline, moving fast up to like 79 ish. And man, to me, Mainline did not get the respect it deserved. That album was good.
Well, the problem at the time was um, Mainline came out during what became the infamous disco revolution.
Yep,
So, I think it came out like 3 weeks before they burnt all those records in
I
the
remember
stadium.
that.
And after that, all radio stations stopped playing disco music.
But you
But
know what?
luckily for uh-huh.
But the thing was, one of my favorite songs on there was a ballad. Well, you did your version. Y'all did the version of "You Turn My Whole World
Yeah.
Around." That was the
Yeah.
joint right there, man. I was like, when I heard "You Turn My Whole World Around," Mainline, and I can't. I still got the album here somewhere, but it was like
Okay.
that album should have gotten more play, more opportunity. And it was just to me unfortunate that it didn't. I'm looking at some comments online. I'm trying to see what people are
Well,
saying.
can I tell you a little story about that?
Please do.
When that came out, the album, we were with Buddha Records at the time.
Right.
Oh no, when that came, well, you came. That was the second album. You turned my whole world around.
Yeah, that was
They
mainline on the
when
mainline album.
oh the mainline album. Yeah, we were with Buddha Records, and Buddha had just signed the model Beverly Johnson
Uh huh.
and made an album with her, and that became their priority.
What? That's
Yes,
crazy. I bet
yes,
you. Well, nothing against Beverly, but did her album do anything? Did the project go anywhere?
no,
I ain't think it did.
no.
Now,
And it was
if I
funny.
had,
I asked the president of the company. I said, "Well, what 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 um what was your motivation in doing that?" And He said, "Well, she's beautiful."
I mean, I get that too, but if you don't have a good gimmick working behind the beauty, how much longevity did they expect it to have?
Thank you. Yes.
Da- Damn, that's a shame. That was a
Yeah.
waste, a bad decision, and a waste of resources, if you ask me. But
Well,
I
me
mean,
too.
I can remember playing that album over and over again just because I just thought you guys did such a great job. And then as you fast forward between touring and thinking about your next deal and who's going to sign you, and we fast forward several years after that, and all of a sudden there's this new project called Continuum. So
Yes.
what's the story behind Continuum?
Well, we had been actually working. What we did is we got together. We broke up for like 17 years. Leroy left the group in 1977, and our manager passed maybe in 1980, 82, 83, and we had talked about getting back together. That was always his dream for us to get back together. So we were going to get back together and make some new music. And it took us 10 years because everybody, all three of us were working on different projects.
Right.
So it came to a point where we say, okay, well, either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it. So I was working on a solo project. Leroy was working on his solo stuff, and Stu was working on a couple of songs. So we said, okay, well, let's pool songs from our projects to make this album, and that's how it came together.
Okay. Okay. That made sense. That was very giving of you guys, man. But and as we say in the music business, you got to do what you got to do to keep food on the table, So I was glad to
Yes,
see that you guys had that resurgence for the Continuum album because I remember the days of Record King Audio, both stores, and bouncing around
right.
from store to store. And I mean, people don't know, for me, a kid that just loved music, probably like yourself, and I was really an introvert. I found
Mm.
joy in just reading the liner notes. I mean, I wanted to know who was
I
working.
miss that stuff.
Yeah,
The
who's working
liner
with
notes was
who?
yeah, that was the best part of the album after the music.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you've done all these things, and then the solo part of your life. I was looking at some of your history with you did Strange Magic and I Surrender and If Only You Knew and Celebrate. I mean, you have constantly stayed active or made sure that there was a level of visibility for your brand, for yourself, and I guess for your heart, which is something you
Right.
really connected with music. And you work with
Hmm.
different people. Who's Frankie Estevez?
Frankie Estevez is, I actually was introduced to him through a friend of mine who, he knew that I was looking for a recording studio to work out of.
Nice.
And he said, well, you need to get with my friend Frankie. So he took me to the studio and Frankie and I just clicked. And Celebrate
Nice.
was actually a track he had. And he asked me if I could, write some lyrics to it. And it took me a while, but, I finally got the lyrics together. And from that point on, I knew that he was the person I needed to be with to complete a whole album.
Right. So, are all those songs from the same project? I'm looking at Strange Magic, Love Life, Sign
Yeah,
of Time.
that's my solo album, Love
Nice.
Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier, and I'm like, man, if we only could do music the way we used to do it, I tell you. I mean, in some ways it's good, in some ways it's not, because it's great to keep all the money in your own pocket or
Right.
most of it, but the bad part is the big machine. You don't have that extra push. What are your thoughts on the way music is promoted and performed today? What's your view on it?
Well, I like a lot of the music, but every generation has their own thing. So right now it's all about hip hop and rap. Because if
Right,
you talk to a younger person or you listen to what a younger person is listening to, the majority of the music that they like is rap music.
right,
So, but as far as promotions, like you said, the big machine is not as big as it used to be. And people like Beyonce and Jay-Z, they don't make the kind of money off of records that they used to make back in the day. So that's why they're like, promoting alcohol and clothing lines and stuff like that. Whereas before, that was frowned upon.
Right.
So, so
Well,
the problem now for a lot of, up and coming artists is they don't have the wherewithal to promote their music the way, it's getting on urban radio is not easy because conglomerates like iHeartRadio are the ones who are deciding who gets played and who doesn't. So right now it's more about a pop, you know, pop music sung like in an R&B style
right.
by, you know, like pop people.
Like
The R&B,
Justin Bieber and those guys.
Justin Bieber,
Just
Ariana
Timberlake.
Grande, right? And
Well,
the R&B artists, the black R&B artists, are on the internet, and you got to go through YouTube or you know those kind of streaming sites that the kids go through to
right.
hear the music.
Well,
Except for they let one or two in, like her,
yeah.
right?
But I'm of the mindset that our generation, the listeners of our generation, are still listening or looking for artists like us, that have the nice soul songs or a nice mid
Right,
tempo track that you can dance a little bit to if you want to, or you can just listen to it. And we don't have the engine. I mean, I know you just said the streaming platform is the way to
right,
go, but
yeah,
we don't have the machine to drive the engine unless we're driving it ourselves, and that's
right,
the only bad part. For example, unless your song just happens to have the right mechanics, the right feel, the right
right.
flow. So I mean, I'd love to try to write something for you sometime, but we can talk about that offline. But
Okay,
yeah, man.
I'm
So
ready for the
now,
next project now.
yeah, there you go. Because I just put out a project in, was it November, December, and actually I'm already working towards whatever the next big thing is going to be. So I'm kind of like in the
Okay.
lab right now.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward, and I would love to collaborate. That's what I've been doing. Like a lot of the songs on the album, I've worked with Frankie and I basically produced them, but writers, I've worked with other writers. So
Okay. Well, we did say a long time ago. At least I remember saying to you, man, we're gonna be on the same stage one day. I didn't say whether we would
I
have
do
canes or
remember that.
not,
Yeah, I remember that.
but so let me ask you this, because I know you've been in the business a long time. You've had agents, managers. You've worked with producers. What was
Right.
that experience like working with Patrick Adams? Is Patrick still around today?
Yes, Patrick is still around. Yes,
Okay, so
thank God.
what was that experience like working with Patrick?
Well, we were all around the same age. Patrick is like maybe 3 years, 4 years older than we were,
Okay.
and he's extremely talented, in what he does. So working with him was really, really, collaborative, and it was a wonderful experience.
Was he agent and producer or just manager or what?
Well, he was initially, we collaborated and producer and manager at the time.
Okay. Do you think that artists today need managers, or what is your
Oh
thoughts on
yeah,
that?
oh yeah, because you can't do everything, but you need a, a machine behind you, your own machine. So you need a
Right.
manager, you need a booking agent,
Publicist.
publicists. For females, they need the glam squad. So it's definitely a group effort.
Okay. What would you suggest for new artists or young artists today, as far as wanting to enter into the music business?
I just think they need to follow their dream. I mean, Little Nas X is a prime example of that.
True that.
He found a track online and he put a rap to it, and you know, Old Town Road became
Mm.
huge, and now he's a millionaire.
How about that?
So
So,
you gotta still follow your dream because to be honest, for a minute I decided not to do music. I was like
really?
so disillusioned by the industry, and we lost our deal, and nobody wanted to sign us, and I was like, what am I going through this for? But in my mind, I said, after a while, I said, you know what? This is what I'm here for. This is my gift, and I
Okay.
need to share it. And, you know, if it happens to a point where it's, a big hit or not, at least I'm doing what I love.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's what you got to do.
We got some comments. I want to read some of these comments.
Oh, wait, can
Some
I say
people
something
said
real
they
quick?
remember the group, you and I. I'm seeing, I
Yeah.
can't see all the names because people have to sign in fully, but it says, what's the history behind the name Black Ivory?
Well, at the time when we came out, everybody had these crazy names like Clockwork Orange and The Main Ingredient.
Yeah.
So Stuart and Patrick actually, they were going through the dictionary trying to figure out what would be, because, the original name for the group was the Mellow Souls.
Okay.
So, Stuart and Patrick were going through the dictionary, and then Stuart came up with, why not Black Ivory? And Patrick said, that's a really good name.
It's
And
and it's
for
stuck, obviously. So yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Actually,
So,
somebody used a rock group used it at one point. We had to tell them, yo, cease and desist.
right there you go. I know that's right. Melba Moore says to say hello. She gives you a wave. She says hi.
Hi,
Hey
Melba.
Melba, thanks for coming through. Let's see what else we got. We have great history lesson, great music history lesson. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you started like you said 16, 17, or between 15 and 16, man. That's a long road, and I'm sure you've seen a lot, heard a lot, done
One
a
of
lot,
the only
and
groups from our era that's still, the original members.
exactly, exactly. Because I look at Blue Magic. I remember opening up for Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes at the Beacon Theater, and I mean, things have changed. And members are not there,
Yes.
and you got two and three different versions touring at the same time, which is unfortunate. It's not. I mean, it's not that unique because I remember hearing that happening
Right.
with the Temptations, a while ago. But it's just like it's nothing like the real thing. Even with like loose ends, it's like two different versions.
Right, right. Yeah, like they have like three different Blue Magics until recently.
So
Yeah.
was Ted still around singing?
Cool.
Ted the Wizard?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, there were three different versions of Blue Magic and Ted.
Wow. Wow. No, no, I know that Leroy's done a lot of stuff. I was think it was Contusions. There was a group he did, and he worked with these the
Uh,
Leans, and he did a lot.
yeah,
You
he's been
know,
with Freak. He was with and he wrote songs for other people.
he wrote for
Also
Intrigue too, didn't he?
he sang with Intrigue also.
Yeah, because my friend Fred McFarlane at the time, he gave me a shot, and I just wasn't ready, man. I flopped. I froze like a deer in headlights because I didn't know what to do. I was trying to do the follow up to somebody else's guy, and I just couldn't feel it. And next thing you know, there's the rap version, and that was that. But
Right.
but yeah. So what about rights and protection? What is your view or advice on protecting your material and making sure that you're doing what you need to do so that you don't either get ripped off or so that your legacy has something to look forward to?
Well, you definitely, if you're a writer, you definitely need to, send your product off to the Library of Congress and make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's copywritten. And these days, since they're not, there's the record companies aren't really around. A lot of the artists are also handling their own publishing, because back in the day, you had to sign your publishing over to the record company. So, it's all about taking care of business. You got to copyright the stuff. You got to make sure the publishing is in place. If you don't know how to handle your publishing, you need to find a publishing company and solicit to them, let them know that you know, what you're doing, and see if they're interested in representing you. Nine
So
times out
be
of 10, they won't be unless they feel that your product is hit worthy.
right.
But there's also so many different ways of promoting your music. Like there's television, there's commercials, There's
Yep.
movies. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the radio for you to make money from it. Also, you can send it out to like if you're writing, you can send music to other artists and see if they're interested. Because there's a page on Instagram that I just found that was telling you how different artists would write songs and send them to someone else, and they would become a hit.
Wow.
And it's amazing how many songs that we think we don't know who wrote it, but you know, come to find out that other artists wrote for other artists. So
Yeah, I heard that
you just
with
got to take care of your business, basically.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of like before Bruno really blew up. Blew up. I heard Bruno wrote for a lot of people. I mean, there's just a ton of artists or ton of
Yes,
people that write, and it's for other artists. So, that is a
right.
good avenue to take. So, also, would you advise ASCAP or BMI
Yes, yes.
and
You got to
Song
join
Trust?
one of the, but there's a catch-22. You can't join them until you have something released. But these days it's easy because you can release it yourself
Yep. Yep.
and then join the writers songwriters unions.
Here you go. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Man, so do you think? I know you're working on. We just mentioned it briefly. Working on another project. What about the group? Is the group have any interest in doing anything or working with other people?
Oh well, Leroy's doing things with other people. He's working with Louis Vega.
Oh
Leroy's
yeah,
primarily in the
God, he's
dance.
been around forever.
Right. He's worked on the last three Louis Vega CDs as like well he did a couple of Leroy songs over again, but Leroy is also an arranger, so he's been arranging some of the music for Louis.
Yeah, we got to talk
As far
offline
as
about
Black
some of that
Ivory,
stuff.
huh?
So we got to talk offline about some of that stuff. But
Yeah.
it's all good though. It's all good.
Oh yeah. But
So
I don't know if
now,
Black Ivory will get another record out. We'll see.
yeah, I think it
We
would
have a
be great.
single we want to put out. We did a remake of Out of My Head by Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Really.
Yeah.
Now, do
So
you
we
think that it's? I mean, I don't know. We never know until you really try it. But do you think that it's good that you stay in the pocket of what you're known for, or that you would consider maybe even be more contemporary? The Black Ivory maybe having in even more contemporary soul sound, or will you always stay in the pocket of what you've been known for?
Well, I think the way it should work is you give your demographic what you're kind of known for, but to put a little twist, like with my solo album, I did a remake of Show Me How by The Emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of slowed it down and made it more of a jazz thing.
Got you.
Um, and then on Sign of the Times is not a song that, you would associate with somebody from Black Ivory. But
Right.
if you listen to any of our albums from the past, we've also had like message songs and
Mm-hmm.
up-tempo songs that were deviated from the love ballads that we were known for.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't. I believe in giving people what they think they want, basically,
Right.
and then
Right.
trying to do something more progressive, which is, and if they don't like it, because I actually have a song on my CD called "I Loved You," and it was about a man who I saw in a newspaper who actually murdered his wife and his daughters.
Wow.
It was a domestic dispute situation I saw in the Daily News one day, and I thought about the fact that in our community, people don't talk about domestic abuse, or
So
they
true.
decide that the woman is wrong, or she's not really a victim and she needs to like stay in the situation instead of leaving. So
Yep. Those things, those topics, domestic violence, mental health,
right,
keeping a code of honor in the streets. I think I understand where they come from. I understand why they exist, but I question them because I think a lot of times people live and die by the wrong expectations, by the wrong understanding of when do you speak up, when do you speak out. You
right,
and I come from a era where what goes on in this house stays in this house, and
right,
I'm
yes.
and it still happens today. But
Oh yeah,
I
Totally.
don't value a lot of those lessons that I was taught when I was a young boy. Not any longer. I don't value those lessons. I just think that some cases people told us what was all they knew, and in other cases people told us what they thought we were supposed to do, and I
Right.
just don't value
Gotcha.
that.
Right.
So now, I mean, I know how you guys are. Are you very busy? Are you guys stay on the road a lot, or you just take gigs here and there? How's that working for you guys?
Well, the pandemic, we really didn't get a lot of work. So
Right, that's true.
we actually had our first gig back in October from the pandemic. And we don't really get a lot. Like before the pandemic, we might have averaged maybe 7 shows a year.
Right,
But this year, we're actually playing catch up because some of the shows we're doing, our bookings we had before the pandemic that we had to,
nice, nice.
reschedule.
Look,
I think we have maybe 5 more for the rest of this
nice.
year.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. Look, the more the merrier.
Yeah, we'll
Just
be in Atlantic City in September. It's like a summer stage thing. It's the free gig. Um, and it's in Gardner's Basin in Atlantic City.
okay,
And I could post it on my Facebook page
sure.
and it's given by the National R&B Music Society. So they
Ah,
can go to
cool,
that page. Yeah.
cool. Man, that's great, man. It's really been good to catch up with you, man. Like I said, over the years, I've seen the things you've been doing, and I've been trying to do my own thing, obviously. And I just look forward to, hanging in there, doing more of what we love. And I just think it's so important. If
Oh
you have
yeah.
a platform, you have an avenue, just do what you love. I mean, people may not really like it, but if it does good for your heart, keep
You know
going.
what? In my opinion, some might not like it, but then other people will appreciate what you do because whatever talents or gifts you come here with, you need to share with people.
Yep.
And once you share it, more times than not, you'll have someone who appreciates what you're giving.
Yeah, I think I'm of a mindset that the gifts that have been given to us, the talents we have, whatever it is, speaking, writing, performing, whatever.
Right.
Honestly, it's really not about us. In the beginning, it is because you're embracing this
Yes.
new thing. It's like, wow, look what I can do. But after you become seasoned, you have to realize that you're doing this for other people's, for their satisfaction. It's just
Yeah.
being channeled through you.
Right. Yes.
Wow, that's all right, man. So look, man, I know you're getting ready to catch a flight, and I don't want to hold you long, but I definitely value
What?
your
I don't get
time.
my whole hour and a half in 3 minutes?
Look, man, the check's in the mail, man. Don't press me, man. No, but
But
is
can
there
I say
is
something though?
of course, absolutely.
I just want to tell, the folks who are listening, thank you for tuning in. And I don't know, what lies he told you in the beginning, but I am in a car and I was going to the airport because I need to get home. But I'm I'm so thankful that I was able to pull over. I want to thank my sister. She's sitting right next to me. There she is.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
So she's being patient and hanging in there with me so I can hang out with you guys.
Well, we value her time as well. They got a couple more comments before we let you go and see what people are saying. Look, I'm looking for my glasses. They was on my head, but now, okay. So, great music history lesson, yes, and I can't tell who this is because they don't have their name. Yes, share your gifts and talents. Some may not like it, and others will. Absolutely, I agree. That sounds like my sweetheart making these posts. She be supporting me all the time on my show. But yeah, man. So listen, man. Have a safe flight, traveling mercies. Get back, and I look forward to us throwing some things around. Never know what we may come up with. Look, with your voice and some of my ideas, shoot, we may get the hit we've been looking for.
Hey, man, hey, we might make that million we need in the bank.
Exactly, because look, I ain't getting no younger. Folks, there you have it. If you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to post them either now or even in the replay. We've been talking with Russell Patterson, soloist, founding member of the Black Ivory. Look, lyricist.
And
I
for
mean,
those folks who are not, familiar with the music, all our albums are on YouTube for listening. And if you, feel like you need them, have them in your catalog at home so you can touch them and all that good stuff.
yeah.
They're on CD Baby. You can get Continuum on CD Baby. You can get my CD on CD Baby.
I didn't know
Love
you on
Life.
CD, baby. So am
And
I. Okay.
yeah, you can get them all on there.
And
But it's
and
good music, and I
and
have
what
fun
about the
doing it.
stuff from the last album? I saw it on your Bandcamp profile. Is that on CD
Yes,
Baby too?
No, Bandcamp is a whole different
Okay.
another way of purchasing, which I actually like better because Bandcamp is a little bit more on top of who purchases it and what time and all that kind of thing. I love Bandcamp much better, but it's available on Bandcamp, CD Baby, and the
Nice.
other streaming sites.
Someone says they look forward to checking out Black Ivory. Thank you for all the viewers that have given your time as well. We definitely appreciate you. There's no need for us without you. So as I always say, folks,
Oh wow,
until
that's nice. Thank you.
yes, until next time, radiate the brain and change the game. We'll see you next time.